In this video, we are going to discuss the elements of standard hyperbola x square over a square minus y square over b square is equal to 1. Foci of this standard hyperbola. Foci of hyperbola are fc0 and f dash minus c0. Transverse axis or focal axis of standard hyperbola. The line passing through foci of hyperbola is called transverse axis of hyperbola. In this figure, x-axis is the transverse axis of hyperbola. Vertices of hyperbola. The points where hyperbola meets its transverse axis are called vertices of hyperbola. And in this figure, A dash are vertices of hyperbola. If you want to find these vertices, as the transverse axis is x-axis, therefore just put y is equal to 0 in the equation of hyperbola, and we get x square over a square is equal to 1. It gives x square is equal to a square, and x will be equal to plus minus a, as transverse axis is on x-axis. So the y coordinate of vertices will be 0, and the vertices are a0 and a dash minus a0. Center of hyperbola. The center of hyperbola is the midpoint of foci or midpoint of vertices of hyperbola. And in this figure, O00 is the center of hyperbola. Conjugate axis of hyperbola. The line passing through the center of hyperbola and perpendicular to transverse axis of hyperbola is called conjugate axis of hyperbola. And in this figure, y-axis is the conjugate axis of hyperbola. Covertices of hyperbola. To find covertices, we just put x is equal to 0 in the equation of hyperbola, and we get y square is equal to minus b square, which gives y is equal to plus minus iota b. Therefore, covertices of hyperbola will be b0b and b dash 0 minus b and b dash. One more thing to be noticed is that here, as y is equal to plus minus iota b, here iota is present. It means the covertices are imaginary. Note this property, that the covertices of hyperbola are imaginary. And as we know that on complex plane, y-axis represents imaginary axis. Therefore, we have written b and b dash as 0b and 0 minus b, because a complex number can be written as ordered pair a b. Lettera recta of hyperbola. Lettera recta or lattice rectums of hyperbola. Lettera recta are the chords passing through foci and perpendicular to transverse axis. And in this figure, m dash and n dash are lettera recta of hyperbola. The length of each lattice rectum is 2b square over a. Directrices of hyperbola. The equations of directrices of hyperbola are x is equal to plus minus c over e square. In this figure, x is equal to c over e square and x is equal to minus c over e square are directrices of hyperbola. As we know that c is equal to ae, therefore directrices can also be written as plus minus ae over e square, and it gives x is equal to plus minus a over e. Asymptotes of hyperbola. The asymptotes of standard hyperbola are y is equal to plus minus b over a x, y is equal to b over ax, and y is equal to minus b over a x. If you want to deduce these asymptotes, watch our video asymptotes of hyperbola. Equation of hyperbola with center at hk is x minus h whole square over a square minus y minus k whole square over b square is equal to 1. Also note that the transverse axis of this hyperbola is parallel to x-axis. One more thing to be noted is that for hyperbola, c square is equal to a square plus b square, and as c is equal to ae, replace c is equal to ae and we get a square e square is equal to a square plus b square, which gives e square is equal to a square plus b square over a square. From this expression we can find the eccentricity of hyperbola.